And now, marine weather around Alaska.
And for Saturday here for the southeast coast, not bad on the winds here, about 10 knots in varying directions. They're mostly from the southeast. And for the north coast to east-southeast, 15 to 20 knots, so seas up to 7 feet. And for Lynn Canal, north winds at 10, light variable winds for Stevens Passage, and northwest at 15 for Clarence Strait. And then for Sunday, southeast winds 20 knots on the south coast, east 20 to 25 knots up north, and southeast winds 10 knots for the central and northern inner waters. And for the Clarence Strait area zone, marine zone of Clarence Strait, southeast winds 15 knots. Eastern North Gulf Coast tomorrow, east-northeast winds at 15 knots, north winds at 10 knots for Cook Inlet. And for the Barren Islands and Kamishak Bay, northwest at 15, northeast 15 for Prince William Sound. And for Sunday, Prince William Sound, east winds 15 knots. Look for a big increase in the wind, especially in the later part of the afternoon, or increasing throughout the day here, east to northeast, 30 to 35 knots for the North Gulf Coast in across the Barren Islands. And for southern Cook Inlet and Kamishak Bay, winds also on the increase out of the north up to 30 knots during the afternoon toward evening, with seas building to 8 feet. North winds 20 knots for northern Cook Inlet. And for the Saturday forecast, we've got variable winds for Kodiak Island and light variable winds for the Alaska Peninsula at about 10 to 15 knots. Light winds also for Bristol Bay, northeast at 10. And for Sunday, gale warnings for Kodiak Island, north winds 35 to 40 knots, seas building to 17 feet. And for the Alaska Peninsula, north to northwest winds at about 20 knots, north 25 for Bristol Bay. Eastern Aleutians tomorrow, variable winds 10 to 20 knots, northwest to 20 for the central Aleutians. Western Aleutians, west-northwest winds 15 to 20. And then for Sunday, we've got south to southwest wind at 15 to 20 knots for the western Aleutians. Central areas, specifically Adak and Atka Islands, west at 15. And for the eastern Aleutians, northwest winds 20 knots. And for the southwest coast tomorrow, light winds, east-northeast 15 knots, seas only 2 feet. Light variable winds for Norton Sound, St. Lawrence Island, with seas 1 to 2 feet. Light variable winds for St. Matthew Island and the Pribilofs at 10 knots, with seas down to 3 feet. And this light wind pattern continues through Sunday. 10 to 15 knot winds there for St. Matthew Island and the Pribilofs, 10 with seas 2 to 3 feet. North winds up to 20 knots, increasing in the afternoon for the Kuskokwim Delta coast, with seas at 3 feet. Otherwise, 10 knots for the 10 knot winds from the south for Norton Sound, St. Lawrence Island, 10 knot winds from the north, and 10 knot winds from the northeast for the Yukon Delta coast. Eastern Beaufort Sea coast, variable winds 5 to 15 knots for Saturday, south at 20 for the central coast, west winds 15 knots for the western coast. And for the Chukchi Sea, light west-southwest breeze at 10 knots, seas just 2 feet. And for the day Sunday, for the Chukchi Sea, light west winds at 10 knots, seas no higher than 2 feet. South winds 15 knots for the western Arctic coast, while the central coast will be more southeast at 15 knots. Light east to southeast breeze at 10 knots with 2-foot seas for the eastern Beaufort Sea coastline.